Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes,
Facts.
boots.
and other stuff.
In this week's issue, Miss Masque.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I am Zach, joined by the, I know you haven't seen it still, but I'll just say an easy one, the Selena Kyle to my Batman.
Because I'm so slinky.
You are. And you walk like a cat everywhere you go.
That's right. I always land on my feet.
Mr. Mike, if this is your first time tuning in each week,
Hello.
I present, first of all, yes, hello, thanks for joining us. I go back through the history of just comic books in general and find a interesting or ridiculous comic book character to share blindly with Mike as we go through and either enjoy it wholeheartedly or just make fun of it mercifully.
That's true.
And today we have been on a recent kick, and it's just because they're so great. It's another Golden Age
All right.
superhero.
Cool.
Another.
This is a public domain figure.
It is. This is
Okay.
this is a weirder one.
Okay.
And it's funny because they even the way they refer to it on the public domain like comic book website. When I'll get to it, I'll read it. But in a sense, the stories that we're going to talk about
Yeah.
are public domain. The character itself technically is owned by DC.
Okay.
It's a very strange thing. First of all, we are talking about Miss Masque is her name.
Ms. Masque.
One
Is
of-
it Ms. or Ms.?
M-I-S-S.
M-I-S-S. So Miss Masque. Okay.
Miss Masque. And Masque is spelled M-A-S-Q-U-E, like masquerade.
Yuck.
Her real name, Diana Adams.
Okay. Am I supposed to know who that is?
No, I'm
Okay.
just telling
All
you.
right.
What she does for
You
a
seem
job.
very excited about her name, so I didn't know.
No,
Maybe
no,
I
no,
did.
not at all.
It's not Diana Troy.
No, it's not. And
That's
it's,
Wonder Woman, right?
No,
Who's
that's
Diana Troy?
Diana Troy is. It has to do with Wonder Woman, yes, but it's
Okay.
How
that's
are we?
fine. I'm sorry.
No. Now I'm down this rabbit hole
No,
because I can't believe.
I've caused research to happen.
Yeah, well,
I'm
that's
so
fine.
sorry.
You just get to see it happen in real time. Diana Adams, there's nothing special about her.
Sure.
It's
Well-
hard. It's hard for me to tell you what she does. Really, the best way to describe it is she's just like a famous socialite.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's like, I mean,
There's a lot of that in the Batman world too, where
that,
there's a lot of socialites and so.
that is true.
What do you call a
but
guy who's a socialite?
a socialite? Isn't
I
it
thought
like?
Ite was like the female version of that, like comedian, which I think is dumb.
Oh, well, I didn't know there was a different. I thought socialite was a socialite.
Is it?
I
I don't know.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
All right, we'll have to.
Diana Troy.
Welcome to our new podcast. Words.
Sorry.
What do they mean?
Donna Troy was the first Wonder Girl.
Okay. I don't know why I associate that with Wonder
so
Woman.
Donna Troy, and then there's a Deanna Troy,
Deanna Troy.
who's a character from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Maybe that's it. But I never watched that. So
I
I
never
don't
did
know.
either.
I don't know.
All
So
right.
a socialite is a person who is well known. So you're right. It is.
It covers everybody?
Of either or any sex
Okay, well,
or unsexed.
Miss Masquerade is the masked identity of Diana Adams, a
Okay.
young socialite
Mm-hmm.
who decides to fight crime and injustice in disguise.
Okay.
And what is that disguise, Mike? Well, it's
mask?
of course a domino mask.
Sure.
You would hope so with a name like Miss Mask.
Why is it called a domino mask?
That I don't know. I feel smart for calling it a domino mask and knowing that it's called a domino mask. It's one of those
Yeah.
things, but I'm too lazy
No,
to look
you-
up and figure out
You
why.
introduced that term to me, so I.
Oh,
I just-
seriously?
Yeah. I'd
Well,
never
then
heard
what
that
if
before.
I've been misusing this? Another example of research happening live on the show.
No, you're good. A domino mask is a small, often rounded mask covering only the area around the eyes and the space between them. The only thing I can think of.
Like those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The name ultimately derives from the Latin dominus, meaning lord or master. In comic book and popular culture, a domino mask indicates that a superhero/heroine wishes to maintain his/her secret identity. At the same time, the mask actually obscures little of the facial features that make the character recognizable. So it really doesn't tell you anything other than Latin.
Yeah, there you go.
Came from Latin, dummy. Oh,
Hey.
okay, thanks, Google.
But back in the day, like we've seen with a lot of these Golden Age comics, that they really do love their Latin.
oh yeah, they
actually.
do love the Latin.
So if
Well, if you're gonna
Domino, yeah, why not?
If you're gonna go after your tenure,
Well,
you probably
actually,
need to know Latin.
and this is probably, I'm sure there's actual real reasoning behind it. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that maybe a domino mask was easier to draw than like giving him. You know,
I'm
more.
sure that was the case.
Yeah, and especially in cases like this, because the publisher of this comic was Nedor.
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 he's from
Nedor Comics, I assuming.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Nedor, the guy from the planet Bleepblorp.
No, it's the original publisher, and it says created by unknown.
Yeah.
So
I want you to see some. I need to read one more thing here, because when you look up things on Google, you get questions that have been asked by other people.
Oh yeah, totally.
At some point, right? This question says, "Do domino masks actually work?" The answer to that is its usefulness as a disguise varies. In real life,
I love how they've already stated in real life.
in real life, while covering the eye area is surprisingly effective against people who don't know the masked individual personally, it doesn't obscure enough of the face to fool anyone who's familiar with them out of costume.
I watched.
In real life.
Oh man, it's
What'd you
funny. It's funny you say that because I watched. There was some other comic book YouTube video channel, and I can't remember who it was, who was going over the same kind of trope thing. And he went into his local Target, and he filmed himself buying something, and he waited 5 minutes, and he went back in with a fake mustache on, and he went back in to try to buy it. But the thing that was funny about it is that it was with the same cashier, but the cashier just didn't pay attention both times.
That's fantastic.
So he comes out and he goes, I guess comic books are right.
That's really great. Yeah.
So I love the in real life, while surprisingly effective, it makes it sound like he's tried it.
That's right. Yeah. Mr. Google tried it.
Yeah, it's like you're at a party and somebody was like, man, those domino masks, sure, a dumb idea. And then some guy bumps in, well, surprisingly,
they work a lot more than they don't. Yeah.
Oh, man. So
it's often called a Halloween mask also.
Why?
By people unaware of the technical term.
Is that what it says?
That's what it says. Yeah. People unaware.
No, see, I think Halloween mask, I think of like.
Yeah, you think of like Frankenstein or something. Yeah.
Or just more like full mask.
I always
like
think those plastic ones with the rubber band.
Yeah, it's kind of like right behind you in the studio here.
Right.
Like
that
those.
thing that everybody can see. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, welcome to our podcast where we point at stuff and you just have to
Hey,
assume,
look at that.
You just have to assume that what I'm talking about is there.
We are fully clothed.
In today's, or are we?
Oh.
In today's episode,
I don't know. I'm wearing nothing but a domino mask.
I pointed. I texted Mike and I was like, domino mask only.
Yep,
for
that's
today.
right. That's right.
In today's episode, though, I pointed at the plastic masks that have.
What is the first Sunday in March? That's Domino Mask Day.
So, basically, she has no superpowers.
It's the stupidest podcast ever.
You mean that in the most glowing
I do.
way.
I mean it in a great way.
I understood. The thing is, I heard that, and I took that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. Yeah, it's great.
But she has no superpowers, but relies on her wit and a pair of pistols.
Oh.
Let me tell you, in the 2 stories that I read, I don't think she used her gun once.
Really?
But yeah.
Wow.
I did not read through the entire catalog of Miss Mask because I wanted to be some stuff to be left out there for,
You got to leave it to your imagination.
And for our listeners to go and find these great stories for themselves. I don't want to spoil it all.
Miss Mask.
So basically, just behind of this, before we get into her 2 quick little 8-page adventures that I read.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, they're
just
not
8 pages.
Yeah, it might have been like 10 on one of them too.
Yeah,
they're not
sure.
But I read her first and second appearance.
Okay.
So the fact that it's her first 2 appearances and there's so much that's not set up, like
yeah. Well, that tends to be. It seems to me that is kind of the way with these older comic book heroes. They just appear.
Yeah, no.
There's no real origin. There's no anything. It's
I think
just
they were so concerned about just getting something out.
Yeah.
And either fooling, you know what? I'm starting to realize more going back. It's like when, we were kids. I assume that it happened the same. It happened for us. We're not that old or age difference. This is the part of the podcast where I shame Mike about his age.
That's right.
Sorry.
Speak for yourself.
So, they would have like knockoff toys.
Yeah.
But they would try to make it look as close to.
Yeah.
So, do you think that some of it is also they were like just trying to like, hey, we're full of great superheroes and we're cheaper for your kids.
Yeah, I'm sure that is a thing, especially like 40s and 50s.
Yeah, that it's a lot of them, they showing them out. Because
there's a nickel, kid.
Well, the background of this real quick. The Nidor comics was renewed by Popular Library.
Nidor.
This is the great behind it, which was eventually bought out by Fawcett Books. When Fawcett went out of business, Popular Library was sold to Warner Brothers.
Okay.
A number of different publishers, however, are currently / have been using these characters without any lawsuits from Warner Brothers. So any action over them is probably unlikely. They are still, however, use at your own risk, as I did air quotes, characters.
Sure.
So that is where she sits right now in public domain. But let me tell you, Mike, about her first 2 adventures that are just awful.
Yeah, they're going to have to get down to the bottom of the barrel before they start using these characters.
Yes, they are. But that's, I mean...
Look, it's Silver Surfer's uncle.
But
that kind of thing.
I think some of them, though, need to be because of the sheer ridiculousness of it. Because the very first time we see Miss Masque...
They seem perfect for Gunn.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The very first time we see Miss Masque, she... it opens up with a picture of the devil.
Oh.
He's not involved in the story at all.
Dang it.
It's because the sin... It has to do with the sin of basically being a hoarder.
Okay.
Of like, falling in love with your money more than anything. Because you know what our villain is in this?
What?
Just a guy who, he's some dude named Solomon. What's his? I don't even care.
Oh, God. I hope
Money.
Solomon Money.
No, Silas. Sorry, there we go. Silas Mason is his name.
Oh.
So he already has a curmudgeon name.
He does.
But he goes, money. All my life, I've saved every penny I could lay my hands on. But it was worth it. Now I've got thousands.
Thousands.
I'm rich. He's got thousands, right?
So that could literally be $1,001.
Yes, he just has thousands.
And he's rich.
And then in the next page, because again, these are short stories, we got to get it going.
Sure.
His wife says, Silas, you must give me some money to buy one child a coat.
One child?
Sorry, that's actually on me. Our child.
Oh, that would be so great.
They only have one child.
Silas, we have these 3 kids.
Our
Pick
child
one to buy a coat for.
She'll catch her death of cold in these rags.
Sure.
And they are dressed poorly.
Right.
And he says, blast it, woman. Can't you think of anything else but how to spend my money?
God, I'm going to say that to my wife next
I'll
time.
not
Blast
give you
it, woman.
I'll not give you a penny. Do you hear? A penny.
Ooh.
Your greed has turned you into something inhuman. That's right. The villain of this is just a greedy dude, apparently.
Okay.
I can't stand your selfishness.
So are we to understand that had this dude bought his little girl a coat, we wouldn't have this adventure at all? Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah.
That is the start of this.
Just buy your kids coats,
Well,
people.
no, here's the thing. Because of that, the wife and kid leave, and he's just kind of like, good riddance. It's just me and my money now.
Me and my dollars.
So, Diana.
I got thousands of them.
Miss Diana, who has, just red dress, blonde hair. We're just trying to make her look like, pulpy pretty lady.
Yeah.
Oh, no, my car broke down outside. She's having car issues. She goes up to Silas's house, knocks.
Yeah.
Can I get some water? Like my car's overheating.
Sure.
He's like, no, you probably just want money. And closes the door on her.
Water costs money.
So then
she puts on a domino mask and she gets all the water she wants.
She's like, whatever. She keeps driving and ends up breaking, the car ends up breaking down fully afterwards.
Sure.
Well, in this time, it's almost like nighttime now.
She is a superhero, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but car trouble.
I'm glad you knew where I was going with that. It's just like, And now, a word from our sponsor. Rarely do you see Superman on the side of the road changing a tire.
Yeah, but occasionally you would think that if he needed to, he could.
Oh yeah, very fast. I would think. He just lasers it off with his eyes and changes it, makes the world go backwards, and there you go. So the tire's fine.
He can make his own tire if need be.
That's true.
So, well, she continues to be eluded by car trouble.
Right.
And while this is happening, I didn't tell you, this is also an excerpt from Exciting Comics number 51
Okay.
that was published in September of 1946. So this is the area we're around.
Wow.
But Silas is bothered again by another vagrant.
When did the war end?
44.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or at least it's what they taught us in school.
Yeah. Except for on those obscure Japanese islands that we've seen in movies
that we've talked
where
about.
Some guy doesn't know the war
until
ended.
the 70s.
That's right. Yeah.
Or actually, I think there was one like in the 80s or 90s
Sure.
too. So,
yeah.
But so this traveler, we will call him, comes and knocks on Silas's door, and he's like, "Hey, could I get some?" Oh no, that's what it was. Silas, sorry, I had to remind myself.
No, you're good.
Silas has a farm. I guess that's how he gets his riches.
Sure.
The guy that's providing him water for the well, from the wells, like, you got to pay me for the money. Your well's dried up. Like, it's the only water we have. I have to use it for my land and your land, so I'm going to have to charge you double for it.
Yeah.
Silas is like, this is ridiculous. So when this guy comes through and is like, hey, I need a place to stay, and he's like, hey, you want to make some money? Go, like, take care of this guy. Okay. So Silas is like, you're going to charge me double for water. I'm going to pay this homeless guy
to kill you.
That's, that's trying to find a place to stay. I'm going to offer him to go kill this guy for me.
I will give you tens of dollars to
yes,
go kill
tens
him.
of dollars, because I have thousands.
That's right.
The guy accepts.
Sure.
And then instead of going and killing that guy, thinks, why don't I just rob this guy then if he has money to...
That is the catch-22 of being rich and wanting to kill people.
Exactly. In the skirmish.
Skirmish?
I went through puberty right there. It was really tough to read through.
Skirmish.
A lot was happening. But Silas shoots.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Today you are a man.
Silas ends up killing the guy that he just paid to go kill the other guy.
All right.
Which it sounds like self-defense in this case, right?
He takes the $11 back out of his pocket.
Yeah, but like he was about to get killed. It's if anything, self-defense. Diana.
I mean, you did initiate the whole thing, but sure. Okay.
No. I'm just for the whole thing about this because it's very weird to me. Diana, car breaks down, goes back because she's like, that's the only house anywhere. I got to get help.
Sure, yeah.
Walks in to see him standing over the dead body. Or no, I'm sorry. She walks up. She walks up. Here's all the commotion. She's like watching through the window, sees what is happening.
It's a record playing in the room
from last week.
That's right.
Then they notice that she sees him standing over the dead body, so she changes into her
just right in front of him.
Her Miss Masque.
Puts her mask on. Hey, who are you? Where'd you come from?
So basically, the red dress, she just adds like dish gloves, like yellow dish gloves, a red hat, a domino mask, and her hair was up in a bun, and now she's let it long down.
Now it's down and flowing. Because everybody knows when you're going to fight a guy, you want to make sure your hair is down.
And she adds a cape.
Oh, a cape.
Yeah, see, she adds a cape here.
Oh, yeah. She looks like Lady Flash.
The thing that you can't see yet
What's up with the dog?
Oh yeah, I'm getting to that.
Okay, sorry.
So
now I'm getting interested.
Silas ends up. She's like, I see what you've done. I'm gonna alert the police. And Silas is like, no, you're not. You've come to rob me too. And he like he incapacitates her somehow, ties her up, and he's like sicking the dogs on her.
Okay.
Or that's when she bluffs. Sorry. Then she bluffs that she's called the cops, and he's like, I got to get out of here before anybody else catches. And she's like, they'll use the dog to hunt me down.
Sure.
He was like, they'll be able to find the dog and be like, oh, is this your dog? And he'll just come to him. So he's like, I got to kill him too.
You ever see the, it's one of the Pink Panther movies where Clouseau is like in France and he goes up to this desk. He's trying to talk to the guy running the hotel that he's in. And there's a dog over in a little bed next to the desk, right? And he goes, does your dog bite? And the guy behind the desk says no. And so he puts his hand over on the dog, and the dog bites him. He said, I thought you said your dog doesn't bite. The guy says, it's not my dog. So I just thought it
That's
was
funny.
a good time to tell that.
No, that's funny.
It's one of my
That's
favorites.
a great joke.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of told
It's not my dog.
in Peacemaker.
Oh, it is kind of. Yeah, you're right,
I
actually.
thought you said he didn't bite. He doesn't bite me.
That's right.
So,
Peacemaker.
but so Silas decides he's got to burn down the house with the dog and
Sure.
Miss Mask in it.
You
The
gotta
funny
get rid
thing
of all of
too
them. Yeah.
is on Miss Mask's chest, just so you know it's her, she has 2 M's. But she ran out of space to actually make it like MM across, so they're sideways, and it looks like EE on her chest. I'm trying to find. They don't draw it much. Like when they draw it, they don't include her like chest at all. I guess maybe because it's less work to have to put the logo on there. Like these are it's bad.
Well, I mean,
It's a sign of the times. That's all it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not.
It was a
trying
shading
to,
issue.
Yeah. That's for sure. Shading issues. See there. I was trying to find. Those
No, those look terrible.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
So basically, the end of this story.
And why is she fighting Namor?
No, that's the devil. I told you he was there.
Oh, that's
yeah.
the
See, look, it
devil.
starts like that.
Oh,
and
wow.
they make Silas look like his greed.
The devil has a cornucopia
That he's
that
just
he's
he's Scrooge McDucking coins
he's
out of.
pouring all the coins out of.
Yeah.
And now we understand that these coins cannot be gold. I mean, they are gold, but he only has thousands of dollars.
Yes.
So there's no way that that's all solid gold coins.
He's got devil coins, is why he's a villain, I
devil
guess.
coins. Yeah, that'll do it.
But so he's on the run after he catches the house on fire. She breaks out.
Should save the dogs?
Yeah, the picture you saw was her and the dogs.
Thank God.
Leaping out of the house. Yeah, they weren't that dark. She freed herself, took a chair, broke out a window. So then she's chasing out, and she follows the dog because the dog goes. I hate those commercials.
Well, I'm just saying, saving the dogs, saving the cartoon dogs.
I know, and
for only $4 a day, you can
breaks
save
my
a cartoon
heart
dog.
every time watching those. But the dog leads her to him.
Yeah.
And he goes.
Well, yeah, it's his dog.
Exactly. So
I mean,
so she just follows the dog to him.
Yeah.
And catches him on a bridge and tries to like grab a hold of him.
Mm-hmm.
And she can save them and like save herself, but he's too concerned about the money, his money that he dropped to the bottom of the river.
Why
And
did he
so
drop his money to the bottom of the river?
Like he's running away with all of his money because he wasn't going to leave in the house fire.
So he's got so little money that he can pick it up and just run with it.
He's running with all
to the
his
nearest
fortune.
bridge while he burns down his shack with his dogs in it.
He
Good riddance, pups.
Gets tackled, falls off.
Wow.
And it's like there's a lot of paper money that's in the water, but it's
Sure.
It's just like
Well,
those
money
five,
was a lot heavier in the
those-
40s.
All you
Yeah.
needed was 5 gold coins.
Right.
Straight to the bottom. But his first thing is like, I'm going to go save all my wet money.
Yeah. Well, you gotta. Well, I don't know.
But
Does his bags have? Do they have big dollar signs on them?
No, it's just a brown sack.
That's
like
a
potato
real.
bag.
That's an opportunity loss.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you
For
gotta
sure.
put
And you need
dollar
to
signs
calculate.
on your money bags.
But he went back down.
If you're gonna put sideways E's on this poor girl's chest, you need to put dollar signs on your money bags.
Nope, they couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
But so he
Shading.
goes back down to try to shaded.
Yeah, it's shading.
So he can go back. He dives back down to try to rescue it. And he doesn't
Right.
come up, and she goes down to save him, but he refuses to like try to let go of his money. And so she leaves him to die at the bottom of the water, which I don't know how he stays down there. I guess his bag of money is weighing him down that much too.
Yeah. Well, it's the classic, monkey reaching in a tree kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
So that is our first Miss Mask story. It's
Okay.
basically just a guy didn't want to buy a coat, wanted to pay some guy to kill a guy.
I
who
just
was
hope this poor little girl
charging
got a
her for
coat.
water. I don't know. They left.
Yeah.
But they have no money for it now because our hero in the story tackled him, lost all the money,
Sure.
and killed her dad.
That's
Hey,
terrible.
Hey, little girl. Yes, I'm Miss Mask. I lost all of your family's fortune and killed your father.
Here's a wet $2 bill. Go buy a coat.
Oh, who, me? I'm just a fancy socialite. I'm not worried about your problems. The second one that I read that we'll close out the issue, or the episode with.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Involves now, I gotta regain myself after that.
Now she kills a child because he wanted a gumball.
Yes. Oh, man. So that is Miss Masque. Again, I guess she eventually uses pistols to be more exciting.
Okay.
Because she's not exciting at all to watch.
Yeah.
Read. The next issue, though, which is her very next appearance, because she's a socialite, she's hanging out with, like, these party people. It's like, it's supposed to be like a real happening, like, party going on. And we're introduced to a friend of hers who is named Lily Bell.
Lily Bell.
Lily Bell, of course.
Of course.
Talks with a very stereotypical Southern accent at the time.
Sure.
We've talked about, they like to play up the Southern Belle thing.
Is she a hero titled Liberty Bell?
No.
Oh, see, again, opportunity lost.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Like, she came in and she was like a partner hero. Yeah.
She should be like red, white, and blue and, the whole thing.
Nope, she didn't. She is here. Diana's having dinner with her friend, Lily Bell, and her boyfriend, I can only assume, whose name is Homer Conkle.
Homer Conkle. Of the Massachusetts Conkles.
Or Knockle, Knockle. Knockle.
And
Homer
Knockle.
Homer Knockle.
Mm.
She's like a singer of some sort. This
Yeah.
Lily Bell girl is.
Real quick, I'm so sorry. Listen, anybody out there who has a Homer Knockle, make sure you see your doctor.
Make sure you keep it washed.
Right.
So she's a singer, and she's very focused on her career.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming he's her agent or boyfriend because he
Okay.
just says, Lily Bell, I've asked you 1,000 times to make a career of being Mrs. Homer Knockle. Marry me, please.
Boy, what a.
To which Lily Bell, of course, says, you want me to be Miss Knockle? I'm
Miss
like,
Knockle.
No, I'm
Wait,
not really into that.
And her first name is what?
Lily?
Lily Knockle.
Yeah. That doesn't have a nice ring to it as a singer
no.
like Lily Bell does.
And now, what you've all been waiting for.
She says,
Lily Knockle.
She says, in kind of a nod to the way they did with the Dart, too, of the love interest there.
Yeah.
Marry you? No, never. I'm a career woman and was born to find adventure. Yes, that's it. I'll be a crime fighter like Miss Masque.
Oh.
Second one in, she's decided to quit being a singer and already be Miss Masque. We were just introduced to her.
Yeah.
And all she did was kill a man and lose that family's fortune.
Mm-hmm.
And other people want to be like her.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Well, the papers.
great start to it. Yeah.
You know.
So, Homer leaves a little sad, but as he's leaving, this, black-haired woman calls Homer over and she's like, hey,
I'll marry you.
let me talk to you a little bit. Basically, she leaves with him and she
That's
walks
the way
by.
it used to be, Zach.
Dude, and
You
she
just
walks
walk in
by.
a room and go, who's marrying me today?
But she walks by Lily and he's like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, you just told him no. Like, he's
Right, sure.
But she's still upset by that.
Yeah.
Well, he follows this, pretty black-haired lady out to
Right.
the car,
Right.
makes sure that Lily sees them kissing,
Oh.
which Homer does not initiate.
Uh-oh.
And then while he's being kissed and out of view of Lily Bell, one of the, I guess, hoodlums that hang out with this lady knock him out over the head.
They knocked out Knockle.
They knocked out Knockle.
Okay.
So Lily runs after them. Diana runs after her friend and realizes, oh, this is what happened. He got knocked out.
Yeah.
We need to go save Homer.
Sure.
Tells the police. The police are like, oh, yeah, for sure. Let's go do this. Because back in the day, whenever superheroes talked to the police were just all too ready to do whatever they wanted
Unless
to do.
you're an eagle.
Unless you're an eagle, then they call you a crow.
That's right.
And your name's Raven.
That's right.
So, I love that one so
Yeah,
much.
this is really good.
So she rides. You would think that, all right, the cops are like, hop on, we'll give you a lift to follow them speeding away.
Mm-hmm.
She rides on the outside of the car, hanging onto the side of it, right? Just kind of like pointing at him while they go.
Yeah. There's no time to get in.
Yeah, and there's a chase that leads to, they lose them. They figure out eventually, they show up too late. They're at a crime scene. Larry Knockle,
Larry Knockle.
Homer's, I guess, uncle,
Okay.
The Pickle King. He's the Pickle King.
Everybody loves them knuckle pickles.
Is dead.
That's why we call those big pickles knuckles these days.
That's true. There you go.
You know, you just walk up to the concession stand, give me a knuckle.
Shooting star, the more you know.
That's right. Bling.
So they find him dead. And Miss Masque.
Wait, who's dead? Larry Knuckle?
Larry Knuckle,
the
not
Pickle
Homer.
King?
Not Homer. The Pickle King.
Oh,
Larry
no,
Knuckle's dead.
Not the Pickle King.
We see, though, Miss Masque finds like a bulb, like a flash bulb, like a picture, or it's like a flashlight bulb or a flash bulb from a camera.
It's a pickle.
It's not a pickle.
Oh.
It's a light bulb of
Okay.
some sort.
All right.
She says, I know a very specialty Photoshop in town I'll take it to. Goes, gives it. The guy goes, yeah, that's a very rare bulb we had to order.
What?
Here's the address.
What? How is this NCIS crap we got going on here?
I sit on hold for hours sometimes to get things done. This woman just goes, hey,
I got this light bulb.
I got this light bulb. And he's like, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
It's specialty. Here's who we delivered
That's
it to.
Jim Smith's light bulb.
I don't even care who you are. You
Yeah.
masked person who's coming here to ask it. So she shows up, Miss Masque, she shows up to then see what's going on at the address. And we find out the woman that stole Homer earlier is the leader of this, like, not crime family, but a group of just hoodlums in a way that are, you know, all there ready to do her bidding.
They're the knuckle nappers.
He wakes up and they gaslight him. They're like, we have photos of you killing your uncle.
Oh, no.
Because, you know, now all his fortune comes to you. Either sign over half your fortune to us, not all of it. They were nice. Sign over half your fortune to us.
Sign over $1,000.
We 1001.
Yeah.
We want to be richer than the former richest guy, Silas Mason.
Yeah. And none of that money better be wet.
Yeah. So give us half your money and we won't show the cops this picture. And he's just like,
You know, I get emails like that all the time.
He goes, oh, well, a picture can't lie. So I'll do whatever y'all want. Just keep that picture away from the cops.
Homer Knuckle's an idiot.
He's a massive idiot. Miss Masque, realizes now that she's broken in.
Does he
overheard all
react to the
this.
fact that his uncle is dead? I mean,
He's more just like, oh no, how could I have done this?
Oh, no.
If they say they have a picture,
Yeah.
it must be true.
I've always hated him.
So,
Can't stand a pickle.
oh man, Miss Masque, as she then lingers and tries to figure out what to do, realizes she forgot her pistols back in the car.
Sure.
So she goes, I have to fool them to think that I have backup. So she comes out and she stands
Comes out with
I
finger
was waiting
guns.
for her to just like hold the
Pew, pew, pew.
Oh man, I gotta quit talking with my
Gotcha.
hand so much.
It's all right.
But just like hold her cape up and like the hand back here.
Oh, no.
I thought that's what I thought she was doing.
Oh.
No, it's worse. She just walks up behind them and you don't see her hands, so you don't know what she's doing. So I like to assume that she just has a finger gun
Are
pointed,
you massaging my back with a gun?
pointed to just one of the guys' back.
Yeah.
And she's like, the cops are outside. They've got you surrounded. Let Homer go. And then she's like, no, or Homer's like, no, Miss Masque, they have stuff on me. And she goes, no, it's a lie. They don't have anything. Like she had overheard them before just be like, hey, we don't have a picture. We're going to lie about it, though, and he'll believe it.
Sure.
Because he's an idiot. Everybody knows how dumb Homer is.
Can you tell the difference between a gun or a finger in your back?
I would like
I mean, I'm thinking that I could, right? Okay. I mean, we've seen that
Yeah.
over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
You know, even in movies.
Yeah.
I mean, people, got you. No, dude, that's your finger.
Yeah. Like you could, if anything, like it's hot. Yeah. You would have to
That's
know.
what I'm saying, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, maybe you're like just panicked and you're like, oh.
True. I guess panic.
But
could
then
set
maybe
in.
after a while, you start to be like when it bump, you would maybe you expect to feel it, you know, or you know, maybe you're just thankful that this person's lazy and not. But eventually, you'd be like, that doesn't feel. That feels like a finger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wear MythBusters when you need them.
Prom night. That feels like a finger.
Oh man, that sounds like some weird kind of fan erotic story.
Doesn't
that
it?
would be.
Yeah.
So
Miss Masque,
Miss
erotic
Masque.
fiction.
Let me wrap it up real quick.
Yeah,
So
gotcha.
Because
you're going to go see Batman again.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Potentially. Why not? If you haven't, you should see it multiple times. So this black-haired madam looks out the window and is like, she's lying. She's full of it. There's nobody out there. But then the police do show up after that too anyway.
Oh.
So they do arrest. I guess she alerted them before.
Yeah.
She just bought time. They arrest the bad guys. And Lily Bell now wants to marry Mr. Homer Knockle, even though he's a guy who
he's the de facto pickle king now.
He is the de facto pickle king, but this is a man who also uttered the phrase, they got a picture, pictures don't lie. Just like 2 pages ago.
Yeah.
So Miss Masque was just another terrible.
This is just proof that they didn't think much of their readers.
No, it was more.
Yeah.
Well, I think you can also, they were probably just pushing towards it being like kids too.
True.
It's who they were marketing to, I would think, at the time as well.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It seems like if we were to sit down for more than 5 minutes, we could come up with a better story.
See, you give us that credit, and then
you don't think we could?
Oh, then this stuff for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, I believe in us enough to where if we made a comic and then another show like us existed out there, that they would like part of it and we wouldn't be ripped as hard as other things.
Sure.
So that's where I think we could fit. But we could definitely knock the socks off of these, except the Puppeteer, just because.
The Puppeteer or Mr. V or whatever his name was.
Yes.
What was his name before?
Captain V.
Captain V. Yeah.
That is just.
It's
it
rough
writes,
stuff.
Well, it is, but it's like if you read it as like it's supposed to be this ridiculous, you're like, okay, then it's hilarious.
Sure.
But the fact of the time that it's written, it was supposed to be taken.
Yeah, it was supposed to be serious. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That's Miss Masque this week.
Miss Masque, she was
something.
I miss her already.
Yeah. Well, DC owns her, so make sure you let them know when you want to hear.
Boy, oh boy.
Watch.
Warner Brothers,
See
please
that
give
movie.
me my Miss Masque trilogy.
Trilogy?
Trilogy. Yeah. That's what they're calling it these days. That's what the kids call it. Trilogies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you around here because I am so lost with all that hip talk.
Hey, bro. Show me a trilogy.
It's totes.
Trigidly.
Totes gnar, man.
Totes.
Totes gnar. So.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. As always, find us on Instagram, Bros, Foes, Heroes. Email us, brosfoesandheroes@gmail.com.
Yeah. You can find us on roguemedianetwork.com.
Yes, sir. And until next time, thanks for listening, and everybody stay safe.
Got a gun!
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.